Well, you can go ahead and tell them that I said it. Citibank is the most underrated bank right now. They're offering wonderful products, but nobody's paying attention. So in today's conversation, I want to talk to you a little bit about Citibank unsecured loan versus line of credit. And I want to tell you how wonderful those products are, and especially if you have a relationship with Citibank. Don't go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome City Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about Citibank unsecured personal loan versus line of credit. And this is a great product because the minimum FICO to get this credit card is 550. That is if you have a relationship with Citibank, okay? If you don't have a relationship, the requirement starts in terms of FICO starts at 670. But if you have a relationship, if you have an account with them, it starts at 550. Let's talk about the personal loan, okay? Okay. The loan amount here, $2,000 to $30,000. Fixed rate 7.99% to 23.99% APR. This is kind of cool, and this is very, very good. This is one of the reasons why we believe here on this show that Citibank is one of the most underrated banks right now. They have great services, but because of past history and some kind of lethargy in their strategy, they're kind of like, currently they're not growing, they're not declining, they're just like maintaining their reputation or their level. But they have a great product, a great personal loan, $2,000 to $30,000, APR that goes from 8% to 24%. You get a lump sum payout of your loan, and once approved, you can receive a check in the mail, or they can just wire you the money, okay? And you can repay your loan over 12, 24, 36, 48, or 60 months. That's the kind of flexibility we love. Okay, this is the kind of flexibility we love. We don't want somebody to tell you, hey, listen, you can only pay your loan within 5 years. No. Citibank is giving you the flexibility to pay over 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Boom, this is great. Money, 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 money. And when we talk about a personal loan from Citibank, you have predictable monthly payments. You have quick access to your funds. We love the fact that the application process is very simple. Honestly, it's very simple, and you can set up monthly payments with auto deduct at time of origination so that you can qualify for a lower rate, because there could be a 0.25% off in terms of your APR if you sign up for auto pay. Okay, this is really, really good. And we love the fact that you can even earn monthly thank you points when your loan is linked to an eligible checking account that is enrolled in Citi Thank You Rewards. This is the whole thing I was just telling you about having a relationship with Citibank, okay? In terms of requirements, your yearly income must be at least $10,500. Yearly income, this is gross income. And eligible Citi deposit account must be open for at least 12 months, and you may have one other Citibank personal loan open at time of application as long as it has been open for at least 6 months. So this is really good. Okay, so you can apply in person, at a branch, or over the phone. Let's talk about the pros and cons of this loan. Folks, we are still talking about the Citibank personal loan. We believe this is a loan about which we are really excited. This is a loan that has a great, I would say, a great APR. And what about the pros and cons? So pros, no prepayment penalty or origination fees. If you decide to repay your Citibank personal loan early, you can do so without paying a fee. And this is really good. We love that. Also, you will not have to pay a loan origination fee. The loan also has flexible repayment terms, so Citibank will allow qualified applicants to take out personal loans with repayment terms as short as 1 year and as long as 5 years. This is what I was just telling you earlier. That flexibility, we love that. All right. So whether you prefer to repay your loan quickly or want to, let's say you just want to stretch out your payments, this flexibility that I'm just telling you, could be very useful, especially if you're trying to manage your liquidity situation, your cash flows, your cash inflows versus your cash outflows. And the third advantage that we love is the fact that you can have, if you are a qualified applicant, you can get a very competitive APR because the APR can go as low as 7.99% on personal loans. Talk to me about that. Talk to me about that. This is a great APR. And we have reviewed hundreds of personal loans on this show, and 7.99% minimum from a big national bank as such as Citi. This is really good. So those are the pros. What about the cons? Big decision time. Do you want to listen to the cons? Talk to me about it. If you're interested in this Citibank personal loan, you better hear the drawbacks. So you have slower than average funding speeds. Personal loans are only available to current customers, so you need to have a relationship with Citibank. You need to have an eligible Citi deposit account that's been open for at least 3 to 12 months. If you're not a customer and need access to funds sooner, you will have to apply with another lender, okay? And there is no pre-qualification option. So in other words, you need to submit a formal application to view your individualized rates and terms. As a result, you might have a hard pull or soft pull depending on the setup, and your credit score may be dinged up to 5 points. But if you have a soft pull, up to 5 points. If you have a hard pull, probably 10 to 25 points, okay? But bottom line here is that when you think about the pros versus the cons, you can see that the pros far outweigh the cons. Let me give you other details, folks. Today's conversation is about the dichotomy, if you will, not dichotomy, but it's a comparative analysis between the Citibank unsecured personal loan and the line of credit. But first, I'm just talking to you about the personal loans. Everything I've been saying so far relates to the personal loan, okay? Let me give you other details that you need to be aware of. When we think about personal loans from Citibank, you need to think about the loan typology. There are different types of personal loans that Citibank offers, okay? You can use the loans for a variety of reasons: for debt consolidation, for home improvement, for weddings, for big purchases, money, right? Whatever you need the money for, Citibank can actually give you a loan for it. Obviously, the reason must be legit, right? And don't forget what I told you though. You need to earn at least $10,500 in annual income, gross income, all right? And you also need to pay attention to the fact that you need to establish a relationship with Citi. Other than that, we love the fact that there are other details that are really great with this loan. We have the mobile app. This is called Citi Mobile. It is available to download on Android and Apple phones. So in addition to offering a convenient way to manage your Citi deposit and credit card accounts, the app also lets you view your loan balance and make payments. This is kind of cool because when we are in the era of technology, you want to be abreast of what's going on, and Citi Mobile is kind of cool. You can also earn thank you points. We love that. Honestly, this is kind of cool because you're able to get a well-priced loan. And you can also earn Citi Thank You Rewards points by paying your loan. And you can redeem your thank you points for gift cards, cash, travel, and more. Okay? And we love the fact that you have minimal fees. Although Citibank charges a late fee of $25 and increases the interest rate by 2% for borrowers 60 days behind on repaying their loan, there is no origination fee for processing the loan. So this means that if you are approved for a loan, no fees will be deducted from the total amount. In addition, if you choose to repay your loan early, you can do so without penalty. The whole thing is that when you get approved for the loan, please do me a favor. I want you to be financially responsible with this loan. You want to have auto pay. You want to have the loan payments to be automatically deducted from your checking accounts or savings accounts every month. Do not rely on doing it manually. No, you want to automate things. Did you hear that? Automation. And let's talk about the application process. Okay, so if you want to apply for a Citibank personal loan, and listen, folks, just in case you haven't gotten it, this is an unsecured loan. So you're not putting any deposit down. No, not at all. You're not pledging any personal asset. No. So to apply for a personal loan from Citi, you'll need to meet the qualification requirements, and you need to submit a formal application in person or online. Obviously, we have covered this on other shows. You can apply online, but it's just a lot better to go to a branch and apply in person. But once submitted, Citibank will perform a hard inquiry to evaluate your creditworthiness and determine how much loan you might be approved for. And this is and so in case you are interested in applying online, it's very straightforward. Go to Citibank's website. You want to hit the apply now button. Afterwards, you'll be prompted to log into your account or create a Citibank account. And you need to complete a loan application by inputting your personal and financial information. Here I'm talking about what? Your name, social security number, annual income, blah, 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 your requested loan amounts. Remember, if you want more than 30 grand, you need to go to a branch anyway. But if you want to do things online, you need to review and sign a loan agreement, aka promissory note, if your loan application is approved, and you'll receive your loan funds via check in the mail or via wire transfer within 5 business days. Okay. Alternatively, you can apply in person at your closest Citibank branch or by phone. Here is a number. The number is 1-877-362-9100, 1-877-362-9100, or 1-800-992-9833 for text telephone. Okay. And another thing I need to say before we go to the break is that you cannot refinance a personal loan with Citibank. Citibank, as of the date of this show, does not offer personal loan refinancing. You can, however, take out a second personal loan with Citibank if your existing loan is at least 6 months. Okay. The bottom line is, it's just a lot better to go to a branch, sit down with a banker, explain your situation. They can see your history with them, your cash inflows and cash outflows. What you can explain what you need the money for, if this is for a large purchase, or you can also discuss at the branch. You can talk about the tenor of the loan, the term of the loan. Okay, do you want 1 year or 5 years or anything in between? So you have that flexibility if you sit down with a banker and discuss the loan options. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another session of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. In today's conversation, I'm just talking about I'm doing a comparative analysis between Citi personal loan and line of credit, right? I spoke to you about the personal loan, unsecured, of course. Now let's talk about the line of credit. And this line of credit is also unsecured. So the line amount, if you will, goes from $1,500 to $25,000. So that's the range you want to think about. The APR, this is a variable APR, 10.49% to 22.49%, variable depending upon your creditworthiness. One thing you need to understand is that this line of credit does not charge an origination fee. So we love that, okay? And sometimes some lenders, some big national lenders, charge an origination fee for processing, underwriting, or funding a line of credit. Citi doesn't do that. They don't do that. And we love the fact that even if, again, you have a FICO score as low as 550, but have an MPR with Citi, they will basically approve you. Or at least they will approve you, but not with a high amount though, okay? And the cool thing about the line of credit is that the line of credit kind of works like a credit card, really. The only difference is that you don't actually use the card for it. You can use the money for everything you want. The money is sitting there. Once it is approved, it's sitting there. You can request a check. You can transfer part of it to your checking account. You can get some cash withdrawals, and everything is fine. And Citibank will report your behavior on the personal loan and the personal line of credit to the 3 credit reporting agencies, to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Okay, so this is very important to remember. And you can also apply for this personal line of credit. You can go to a branch, to the nearest branch. You can go online to apply. You can fill out an application form online, of course. You can also pick up the phone and just apply on the phone. The thing is that anytime you want to apply for this credit line, if you want to have a credit line that goes beyond 25,000, you need to apply in person. If you want a personal loan that goes beyond 30,000, you need to apply in person. So the higher the amount, the more, I mean, not the more, but the higher the amount, the more important the necessity of applying in person. Okay, so they want to see you, you need to bring all your paperwork, you want to speak to a loan rep before applying. They can ask all questions that they have before actually having your application go through the Citibank underwriting process. Let's talk about how Citibank compares to other personal loan and lines of credit companies. Okay, Citibank, of course, is a national behemoth in the financial sector. They have a lot of coverage, and we just thought it would make sense to compare Citibank to another big bank, which is Wells Fargo. Okay, so Wells Fargo is they also offer personal loans with no prepayment penalty or origination fees. However, there are some key differences. Wells Fargo offers larger loan amounts than Citibank, up to $100,000 for qualified applicants. This is important to remember. Wells Fargo's low-end APR, 5.74% with their relationship discount, is also lower than Citibank's. In addition, the longest personal loan term for a Wells Fargo personal loan is even 7 years. This is kind of cool, okay? And so when we talk about Wells Fargo, we are talking about a loan amount that goes from $3,000 to $100,000. The minimum credit score can be 550 also if you have a relationship with Wells Fargo. And again, when we talk about relationship, we are speaking about having an MPR with them, and there is no origination fee whether you go with Citibank or Wells Fargo. This is really good. And the late fee is $25 at either bank. Okay, so this is, I just wanted to give you an idea, just in case you are in the industry, you are in the sector rather, not in the sector, you are in the market right now for a personal loan or a line of credit, and you're just thinking about whether you want to go to a Citibank or Wells Fargo. So you have it there. In our view, Wells Fargo is better, but it's all about having the relationship. Which relationship do you currently have, Citibank's or Wells Fargo's? This will dictate which bank you should apply for, okay? And I just want to give you other Citi lending programs. So Citi has a home lending program. This is kind of interesting also because, again, if you want to buy a home, you want to refinance your home, you want to use your home equity, you want to manage your mortgage, you can actually contact Citibank if you have the relationship already also. And you can also check your application online, okay? So when we talk about personal loans or lines of credit, you can also think about home equity line of credit. You can think about, you know, a home loan, a home related or home focused loan. So where you're using the equity or using your home as collateral for the loan. You know, so this is not necessarily for a mortgage, but this could be for another type of funding program. So the decision time here, folks. Citi personal loans versus unsecured line of credit. Which one do you need to choose? That's a big question that we asked at the beginning of this show, and now is the time for me to answer. Well, it really depends. It depends. Because you need to think about what personal loans do versus what personal lines of credit do. In other words, why do you need either or? Big decision time. Do you currently need a personal loan? Because a personal loan will help you actually pay down credit card debt, finance a large purchase, pay for a wedding, pay off student loans. Because basically a personal loan is a loan that gives you a fixed amount of funding distributed in a lump sum. So you want to use this for a one-time expenditure. Very important, okay? Because your payments with a personal loan from Citibank will be the same each month because those payments have fixed interest rates and a fixed repayment timeline. What about a personal line of credit from Citibank? A personal line of credit, like a credit card really, is an unsecured revolving credit line with a credit line limit and a variable interest rate. So if you're trying to manage purchases and you're not really clear on the overall scope of the cost, a personal line of credit could be the ideal solution. Okay, so while your payments on a personal line of credit will change due to variable interest rates, you will pay interest only on the portion of the credit line that you use. This is really good, right? So personal lines of credit from Citibank may be available for several reasons. You can use them for home improvement projects, overdraft protection, emergency situations, or to supplement infrequent or irregular incomes. So the bottom line here is that which situation do you find yourself into? Do you need the cash right away, or do you need the cash sporadically? If you need the cash right away for a large purchase, you want to go for a Citibank unsecured personal loan. If you need the cash sporadically, in other words, you need the cash over 1 year or 2 years, you don't even know, you have no idea when you will need the cash, you might want to apply for a Citibank unsecured personal line of credit, so at least the money is there, right? If you don't use it, you don't pay for it, and you don't pay interest on it, so that by the time you actually need it, the money is already there. Thank you so much for your attention to this conversation. I was doing a quick comparison between Citibank unsecured personal loan and line of credit. I talked to you about the personal loan, the pros and cons of that loan, other details you need to know about the loan and how to apply for the personal loan. And then I spoke about the line of credit. And then I did a quick comparison between Citibank and Wells Fargo. And last but not the least, I gave you the decision. How do you make a decision about choosing? How do you choose between a Citibank personal loan and a line of credit? What are the criteria you want to base your decision upon? Thank you so much for your attention, folks. I will speak to you another time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.